All right, so I guess I need to make a video about this fucking guy too. Um, his name is Freeman Key. He was married to my ex-wife's mother. He was my father-in-law, which is a kind of a joke because I don't know. But anyways, I don't know how old Kathy is. She's way older than him. There's like a 10 to 15 year difference. I don't know exactly, but there's a considerable age difference there. Um, so, anyways, when I met Linda, we hooked up and we had already moved in together actually before I met him, I believe. Um, I think. So, anyways, we'll get to the first time that I met this guy. He was the foreman over at Linda's job at White Screw. Um, he, yeah, he was her foreman, and really, what I think was going on was Freeman really liked Linda. Um, he was like Linda would go in late all the time, and he was the boss, and he wouldn't do anything or say anything, and or Linda would call off work, and like nothing was done, or they were like buddy buddy, but really, I think Freeman wanted to be with Linda and not Kathy. Um, but anyways, the first time I meet this guy, what was it? He was working at White Screw, but I know he was he was a carpenter. Um, so the first time I meet this guy, we go over to Linda's mom's house. Now Freeman's living with uh, Kathy. Um, Linda had been living there. We had just recently moved in together. So there was Kathy, there was Freeman, there was Linda, and her daughter Taylor, and I believe Stan was there as well with his wife, and I don't remember how many kids they had at the time. Maybe just two, Chelsea and Cara. Um, but um, so it was a packed house. I think there was two bedrooms upstairs and one bedroom downstairs. Um, but yeah, so we go over there to meet. It's my first time meeting this guy, and we're drinking beer, and we start talking about. I said that bricklayers have a harder job than carpenters, and they do physically. I mean, there's probably there's aspects of carpentry that's hard. All of it's hard, but as far as like heavy lifting and all that, bricklayers have a harder job than carpenters. It's a fact. Ask any bricklayer out there. There's no disrespect on any carpenter, but we were drinking, and this guy got fucking pissed off, and he called me outside to fight him. So I go outside. So we go outside, and we were both drinking. So I don't remember exactly all of the details, but I do remember him hitting me one time, and uh, it's not that I backed down from him because I didn't. Um, it was the idea that I just hook up with this girl, and her fucking uh, soon to be father-in-law is picking a fucking fight with me. And I should have known right then and there that I made a big fucking mistake, and these people are fucking crazy. Um, And so I think the next door neighbors, they called the cops. I think it was neighbors that called the cops. And so the cops come, they break it up, they take me and Linda home. And so very shortly after that, um, well, like I didn't see him for a while. We kind of steered clear from each other, and um, like I tried to like I don't know. We made a point not to drink beer together because it ended up being a problem. But we got along. Well, I tried to get along. I thought we were getting along. I don't know if he was pretending to get along with me, but really what it was is he was jealous of me because I was with Linda, and he liked Linda because they had a good relationship, a very friendly relationship. Um, of course, Linda was not interested in him. Um, not not that I know of, anyways. It didn't seem. I don't know. It was an odd relationship. Um, but yeah, so he hit me once, and I fucking lost it. And I'm sure he's going around telling people that he kicked my ass, but he didn't. Um, and yeah, he didn't. Um, but yeah, that should have been the first clue to fucking run away. There were several clues that I just ignored. Um, but yeah, so years are going by. Freeman. I don't know what happened with his job at White Screw, but I don't know if he quit it or got fired or what it was. But there was a like, and then he would pick up work like sporadically, like with there was a home builder that I can't remember that guy's name, um, but he built some homes. So he would work for him, and then he worked for an excavator, Fred Wolf. Um, um, but it was sporadic. Most of the time, like for the first, well, 15 years that I was married to Linda, Freeman didn't have a job. He, like I said, it was very sporadically. He would he would find work, and it would be for a short time, and um, that's just so funny about how things are going. But yeah, they never had money, um, which is not the point of why I'm saying this. Well, actually, it is the point. So they never had any money. Um, Always broke. Stan, I think bought them a car one time, or got that, or put a down payment on um, a loan to get them a car, and I think he paid most of the payments. Kathy very sparingly worked as a bartender. Um, she had a few stints as a bartender. That's it. But we'll get to the point of this is I had a bunch of work in Vermilion, and I finally got Freeman to come and work for me. Um, it was a basement. Um, he Now, I should note that um, I'm always like when Linda would come home, she would tell me stories about how her aunt Kim is always talking shit about Freeman, about how he's never working and he's drunk every night, and um, getting these stories back from Linda. Kathy's saying this. I think her mother was saying this Kathy and Kim's mother was complaining. Everybody was always complaining about how Freeman wouldn't work and he was drunk all the time. This went on for years and years and years. So I finally get him to come out on a job with me, to work on a job with me, and it's a basement. It's hard, heavy lifting, and Freeman worked for 2 days. He did a great job, and I was hoping to keep him, like, like it would have been like a loyal, have a loyal family member that has your back, because at that time I was having trouble with employees. I could tell that they were either trying to sabotage my work or they'd fucking steal from me. I was hoping I'd have somebody there to watch my back. But it didn't work out that way. Um, it didn't work out that way. Freeman worked for 2 days. On the third day, I go to pick him up because I was taking him into work. I don't think he ever had a vehicle. I don't know if he does now or not, but the man never had a vehicle. Um, and so he works for 2 days, does a great job. I go to pick him up on the third day, and he comes out in the morning. This was no phone call. It was, you know, I need you that day. I got other guys showing up. Um, and he tells me, I'm not gonna work anymore with you. My back hurts. Is exactly what it was. So that I just said, okay, cool. I didn't say anything. I didn't cause a problem. Um, but I was pissed off, one, because he fucked me on that day. He fucked me for the rest of that job. But really, what it was is I was sick and fucking tired of hearing all this shit from everybody else about how free. I was upset because he wasn't taking care of Kathy, and that's the reason uh, why I didn't pay him as well as I was paying the other guys. Um, and so I that was a big mistake, because while I was doing it for Kathy, it pissed her off. Um, Bad, I think. I don't know, because she never said shit to my face. She never complained about it to me. Um, she 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 went around and silently organized this big ass fucking of me, um, in all kinds of ways. She's tried to fuck me with the law, and she succeeded. She's got, like I said, she's got ties with Dennis and Anita, these two other fuckers who have been causing me trouble. Um, um, I think, like, she's like checking, like she wants me dead or ruined or homeless or poor. And actually, there was a time where they weren't working, and they had a big electric bill, and the electric company shut their electric off. Um, and and they were having trouble. I told Linda, I said, we had we had our house in New London on Coleman Court at the time. I said, we have plenty of room. Why don't they just move in with us? And um, they didn't want to do that. Um, I don't know what was going on, but I felt bad for Kathy, is what it was, because Freeman wasn't taking care of her. So Kathy was doing she was paying the bills mostly, because she's uh, frugal, let's say that, very very cheap. Um, But so most of that time, Freeman was mooching off of Kathy. And while that was happening, the the marriage was good as it could have been, I guess. I don't know. But it's funny. I don't know how Freeman, as far as I knew, Freeman wasn't a welder. So somehow he gets this job, this good, like high paying job as a welder. Which he don't know how to fucking weld. No better than I probably know how to weld. Well, probably a lot better than I do because I don't know how to weld. Shut up. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come on. It's okay. Relax. Okay, so where was I? So Freeman gets this job at uh, um I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter where he got the job. Um, Fireland's Fabrication, I think it is the name of the place. Um, I don't know how he got it. He has a friend there, maybe, or some type of connection. There's some type of they pull some strings to get him this job, and so it's been quite a few years, like maybe 5 6 years since I saw him. But I called and talked to Linda's aunt a few years ago, and um, she told me that Freeman cheated on Kathy and they split up. Now I don't know what's going on. It's no fucking difference whatsoever to me. But it's funny that while Kathy's paying all the bills and he's mooching off of her for all those years, almost 15 years, more than that, um, everything was cool. But the second he gets a high paying job and he starts making money, he goes out and he cheats on Kathy and they split up and get divorced. Um, but yeah, this is back to the fucking demo derby bullshit and Joe Hicks and all them people. Um, it just goes to show you, what kind of guy Freeman is. Um, he's he's going around talking shit about me. They both are. When I went on disability, I had a good enough income coming in where I was paying all of our bills, but they were acting as if I wasn't contributing whatsoever. That like Linda was supporting me, when the truth is I paid for the house, I paid all the bills, um, and they're just full of shit, man. They're fucking hypocrites, and they're running around talking about how much of a piece of shit I am, and um, acting as if they're better than me. But really, what it is Freeman would have rather been with Linda the whole time, and he was probably jealous of me because Linda was with me. Um, and maybe Freeman just really wants to be with Linda. Maybe Freeman and Linda should hook up. I think that would be a match made in heaven because they clearly have a lot in common, and they clearly got along. Maybe a little too well. Maybe there's some things I don't know. Who knows?